Welcome guys to the start of my official Steven Spielberg film series, guys. The segment of my channel where I will be reviewing Steven Spielberg films in preparation for his newest film, Bridge of Spies, which is coming out next week, starring Tom Hanks, which I actually just found out about last week, and I am actually kind of excited to see it, frankly, because it's Spielberg. Now guys, before I talk about Jaws, which is an amazing film, I want to talk about Spielberg first. This man has been an incredible influence in my life, and possibly to every other filmmaker's or attempting to be filmmakers' lives, because his movies are just so good, and they are just unanimously loved, and I absolutely love his movies. So guys, we're going to talk about his first big blockbuster break, of course, Jaws. Jaws is no doubt one of the best films ever made, and it's one of the most suspenseful films ever made, and you guys know how much I love tension. This movie is like the art of tension that makes people still afraid to go in the water. But anyway, guys, Jaws is simply the story about a great white shark who ends up terrorizing a beach resort, which is on Amity Island, and a chief, played by Roy Scheider, a marine biologist, played by Richard Dreyfuss, and a grizzled shark hunter go on this quest in order to kill the beast before it strikes and kills anyone else. Now, guys, honestly, you know what rating I'm going to give this, and with all honesty as well, we all know about Jaws, so this review is definitely going to contain some spoilers. You've been warned, though, if you haven't seen it. I honestly believe Spielberg changed the way suspense, horror, mystery films are made by just making one of the most suspenseful, just intense, brutal films ever that just contain way too much gore to be PG right now, but with all honesty, guys, Jaws is just simply a masterpiece, and we all know it. Just everything was incredible about this movie, and it's just so surprising because there were so many problems during the production of this film. Spielberg just could not get a lot of stuff done, and the shark, we'll talk about the shark in a moment, had a lot of problems, but they had so many problems on land as well. They were filming it on Martha's Vineyard, and they had just so many problems getting around because there was always so much traffic, and whenever they'd film scenes, it would always just cause chaos and traffic. But against all odds, Spielberg just persevered and just kept going, and just in the end, he must have felt so satisfied when Jaws broke the all-time film record for the highest grossing movie of all time, which would then be beaten, of course, in 2 years by George Lucas's Star Wars. You know, I actually got this movie 2 years ago, and it's in an exclusive digibook, which means that if I open this up, there's actually like a little booklet that's here, and then there's the woman at the beginning that screams in the beginning, and then if we open it up, here I'll show you a couple of the pages. The cast and crew, we got, of course, the director Steven Spielberg. Look at how young this guy is, oh my god. Just the complete inspiration for all of us film nerds and filmmakers and attempting to be filmmakers. Then, of course, the cast, we got Roy Scheider, Robert Shaw, and then Richard Dreyfuss. Towards the end, they have the original blueprints of the shark, and the shark's name is actually Bruce. Now, if you guys have ever seen Finding Nemo, there's a funny little tidbit in that movie where the great white shark is revealed to be named Bruce. That is an homage to Jaws, and I really think it's one of the funniest things that Disney has ever put in their films. This movie is one of the most iconic films ever, and that's just so obvious. I mean, the poster alone is just the most terrifying water poster I've ever seen, and just still remains terrifying to this day. It's amazing, guys, because this movie is 40 years old. This movie just celebrated its 40th year anniversary, and this film holds up so well. The realism, the intensity, the mind-blowing suspense, the mystery, just everything is so powerful here. The cast is beautiful. The plot is just simple, but it's just so elegant in terms of all the style it adds to the substance. There's just so much to be had with Jaws. It is just a cinematic masterpiece of monumental proportions, and it's one of the best movies ever made, and it's one of my favorite movies. And I just absolutely love Jaws. Everything about it is incredible. Spielberg as a director just proved himself here. and then just kept going. But I mean, with Indiana Jones, and then he just kept going with movies like E.T., and then Jurassic Park, just so much iconic movies. But Jaws, really, besides Duel, because that's more of a TV movie, Jaws is the movie that got him started. And, I mean, we always have to give him credit for that. I remember, I think I was like 9 years old when I first saw the movie, and to me, the scariest moment in the entire movie was actually when Roy Scheider's character was taking the fish bait and chucking it into the sea, and he's like, alright, why don't you come up here and chuck some of this shit? And then the shark just comes out of the water, and every time I saw it, I was like, duh! And then Roy Scheider just makes the motion, the notion that everyone made probably when they saw the movie the first time. He then walks up and then says one of the most iconic movie lines in movie history, "You're gonna need a bigger boat."
Slow ahead. I can go slow ahead. Come on down and chum some of this shit. You're gonna need a bigger boat.
That line is just so good. It's been ripped off so many times, but there is no movie that has ever been as good as Jaws in the water. It's the best shark movie of all time, by far. And then, of course, I love the infamous blowing up the shark when he's like, "Smile, you son of a..." And then he smiles and then blows up the shark. Oh my god. When you watch it with 7.1 Dolby Digital surround sound, that explosion sound effect is one of the greatest sound effects I've ever heard. And it just creates the greatest movie denouement in the sea ever. That scene is just so riveting, as is the whole movie. It's just one of the most intense, suspenseful horror mystery films ever made. So guys, Jaws, of course, gets an A+. Did you guys notice that I had the Jawsome shirt on? I love this shirt. It's one of my favorite shirts, and I know that it would just work so well with this movie. But guys, thank you for watching another one of my movie reviews. I appreciate it as always. I'm going to be continuing in my Steven Spielberg series by now reviewing to you guys one of the most popular films of all time, Raiders of the Lost Ark, as well as Temple of Doom and Last Crusade, and Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, to make one video for Indiana Jones movies, and then I will be jumping ahead to Jurassic Park, and then to Minority Report, and then quite possibly to Lincoln to prepare for Bridge of Spies. But in the end, guys, thanks and stay tuned.